After a 2-week hiatus, welcome back to Let's Talk Puck. We had a whole merger in that time to be like a larger sports podcast. So I think that will honestly make your experience, like your prior experience with rugby, a lot more relevant.
I'm
But
so excited.
yeah,
This is going to be so fun. I
yeah,
was just saying to Pooja, I have always wanted to be able to hold a tiny mic. So this is my time to shine.
and here we
Really.
go.
Yes.
So welcome back. I'm your host Pooja, and this is my good friend Abby. You want to
Hello.
introduce yourself?
Hello. I am Abby. I am Australian, obviously, from the accent. I've been living in Boston for 10 months now, which is
Long enough to have a
gone
jersey.
crazy, long enough to have a jersey as of Friday. Yeah, Pooja and I kind of met and have bonded a little bit over hockey. Not that I know a heap, but she somehow talked me onto being on a podcast. So here I am. I'm ready.
You've been following it enough. And I think that's the most important part is that you have been following the playoffs in particular, the finals in particular. So, um, but let's talk about your past. So your primary experience with sports was rugby,
Yeah.
correct?
So in Australia, I started in rugby
Okay.
and I did work in rugby for a while, probably 3-ish years. And then I transitioned into the AFL, which people in Australia would know. It's Australian Football League. It's an Australian only sport, really. I think
Okay.
there actually is a Boston team where they dabble in it. I don't know who they play against. But I worked professionally in the AFL as well for the GWS Giants. And then for a community team, Ainsley Tricolors. Shout out to Ainsley if any of those boys end up seeing this. So yeah, I think like I have been around sport a lot growing up. I played soccer, I played field hockey. I kind of, as an Australian kid, played everything, I would say.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think I have a good understanding of sports, and so that kind of led me to where I'm in the US trying to figure out the US sporting scene.
Yeah, a little different, but we have a rugby team. I don't know if we have a Boston. I don't know much about the Boston AFL equivalent, but
Mm,
I went to the New England Free Jacks last game of the regular season a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
And that's our New England rugby team, which was very cool.
Yeah.
Um, that was my first time. Actually, that's not true. I watched college rugby games when I was at Northeastern,
Mm.
but I have not seen.
Does Northeastern have a rugby team?
They
That's
do.
I didn't even know that. That's
They
crazy.
do. Isn't that
Wow.
wild?
Who do
Yeah.
they like? Does Harvard and BU and everything then? Or
I think so. I don't know
it's
about
like
those
Beanpot
specific
rugby
schools.
version.
Hey, maybe they do. Something's happening in our hallway.
That's crazy.
Maybe they do. I think they definitely play other schools in New England. I feel
Mm,
because Connecticut has so many schools, and Connecticut's just so much more designed to actually have like team sports. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
here, like our at Northeastern, our teams kind of have to go to the field like kind of far away, or
yeah.
like our like soccer team at Northeastern plays in like Brookline. Like
Really?
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even know that.
So
That's
they like
crazy.
and like our row. I mean, we're close to the Charles actually, so rowing isn't much of a complaint. But like our
Yeah.
rowers, have to go. So, and thank goodness we don't have a football team because Lord knows where they would go. But
I have no
yeah,
idea.
I don't know what they would do.
Yeah.
And we used to. They just weren't good. I guess
Yeah.
weren't raking in money for the school. It was more of a
Mm.
hockey school.
It's more of a hockey.
Uh,
Northeastern is a hockey school. I'll give
Northeastern
them that.
is a hockey school, which is really
Yeah.
interesting because they're kind of not. I don't know.
I haven't been to a Northeastern game.
We should go.
We should
We
go. When
we work for
Matthews,
Northeastern.
we do. We work for Northeastern. Well, Pooja works for Northeastern. I am a student at Northeastern. I guess
You're basically
I'm like, yeah, I'm around.
yeah.
But they just knocked down Matthews, which was like the big 100-year old hockey stadium.
Yeah.
Um,
One of the oldest
I think
arenas
it
in the
was the
world.
oldest the oldest in Boston in the US.
Definitely in the country.
Yeah.
And it's like it was oldest because like it was falling apart. Like
Yeah. It was
every
like
other arena has been torn apart.
structurally unsound
Yeah.
is from what I heard.
It
So
was one of the oldest, but it shouldn't have still existed.
no, no.
They were really trying to stretch that like oldest historic thing and it was not
It went
great.
downhill quickly, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
But where do they play now?
I actually don't even know. I think
We
because
should
right
look
now
it
they're in
up.
the off season.
That's true.
Um,
I know they were playing. Did they? I don't know who else has. Obviously, other people have stadiums in like Boston, but I don't know where they would have gone.
oh, they said they're splitting their time amongst 4 different rinks in the greater Boston and New England area. So,
Oh,
oh my gosh, they're using BUs a little bit,
okay,
using Bentleys,
okay.
and then UMass Lowell's,
Oh,
and then
out there.
Portland, Maine.
Whoa, to
So,
Maine
yeah,
we go, I guess.
yeah, went from right next door to all the way up
We could
north.
go. We could do a road trip to Maine,
We could do a
and
road trip
then
to Maine. You have such a good point.
yeah, next winter. Next
Next,
winter.
yeah, the you
Give us
hockey.
some time.
We're in the off season.
Yeah,
We're in baseball season. We're in World
we
Cup
are.
season.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time. Football season starting up soon.
That's
We
true.
have some time.
We do.
We
We've
have some
got other
time.
sports to look at
We do. There, it's the
before,
beautiful world of sport is that there's always something going on. So,
especially in Boston. I
it's
feel
yeah,
like
we're very lucky
we
to
are.
have that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you have been to a Bruins game or
I
two?
have. I've been to 3 now, I would say. I'm a professional, I would say,
Yeah,
now that
so
I've
you
had
know
3
quite a bit about the
experiences.
Bruins. Yeah.
I know enough of enough, I feel. I know more than I did when I started. When I started, I remember asking my friend, like, why is there blue lines and red lines? And I didn't even know that there was like 3 periods. I was like, what do you mean the
What's this
third period?
clock
I was
for?
like, what? Who does sports in Australia? It's like all of our sports are in quarters or halves.
Which
There's
makes
no
sense. Yeah.
thirds.
Yeah.
Um,
That makes sense.
and so that took me by surprise a little, which I did feel like the dumb Australian for a little bit.
But it's not
Uh,
really intuitive. So
no,
like, yeah.
it as a sport that I haven't grown up with, very tricky to kind of understand.
I think that the exciting thing about hockey is that like it's so fast paced,
Mm,
but I think that on the flip side, like it is not super similar to a lot of other sports. So it's like if you have like you do have to, I feel like take some a little bit more time to understand
hmm
how hockey works before, like just kind of I feel like understand what's going on. But the
hmm
nice thing is that you also don't even have to do that if you don't want to. You can shut your brain off and be like, let me
Yeah,
just follow this puck
I've had
and like who
friends.
scores.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, following the puck can be tricky sometimes too because it goes so fast. But I've had friends that, well, I mean, obviously I had no hockey background, and then I've had friends that also have had no hockey background that have gone to games and have loved it purely from like the atmosphere. I feel like TD Garden is also just a great place to like experience
Oh,
that.
totally.
Um,
Magical place.
yeah, and so I think, like, that hooked me on the NHL a little bit where, like, okay, this atmosphere and the environment is just great.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
absolutely. I also just looked it up, and the reason why they split it into 3 periods, which
Mm,
it makes complete sense now that I'm thinking about it, is that the quality of the ice gets really bad, which, like, if
yeah.
you've been ice skating
Where they
before,
get that what's the machine that,
the
like
Zamboni.
the Zamboni. I knew
Yeah,
it had a funky name, and they, like, go and,
yeah.
like, melt it and, like, smooth it out again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the which makes complete sense because I feel like whenever I go to like a skate,
Mm,
there's like a sweet spot of like it's not when the ice is completely fresh, but it's like pretty soon after that where it's like the best to skate on the ice and then
mm,
you lose it. And so 30 minutes was just too long for the ice to like be bad quality. And I feel like 15 minutes is too short. Like
mm.
I feel like hockey needs a little bit
A little bit
longer.
longer.
Yeah.
So, really, it was kind of, like, by vibes and
Yeah.
ice
Yeah,
quality. Mm,
yeah,
I
I think
like it.
so.
I like it.
But yes, so you've you actually so this is a funny story.
Mm,
When you were picking out your jersey,
yeah.
we, we
You're
went
just about to call me out.
we went to the
Uh,
TD Garden sidewalk sale a
we
couple years
did.
ago, which I think both of our first time going to
Yeah.
that. Was that at our door? Both of our first times going to
Yeah.
that, and the line was crazy. Abby and I were
Oh,
waiting in line to check out for not that much stuff,
mm.
for maybe what was it, like an hour and a half?
I feel like, yeah, like we were in the line, yeah, to check out for an hour and a half.
Definitely over an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was crazy. But Abby was looking for a jersey because the
Mm.
jerseys were $40, which is
$40.
unheard of, especially in Boston. Nothing is
Mm.
$40
No.
in Boston.
Mm-mm.
And you were trying to pick out like a player, and she has a McAvoy
I
jersey
do.
on.
I
She has
have a
a Jordan
McAvoy.
McAvoy
I don't know if
jersey.
you'll be able to see it.
But
I have
she's
a McAvoy
repping for
jersey.
63. But
Yes.
you picked up a David Pasternak jersey,
Yes.
and I asked you if you knew who that was, and you were like, no.
No. I know the name, but
Okay.
I don't know like the story. I feel like it's similar for all of the players. But yeah.
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 So, but I'm glad you got one that you did know.
Yes.
Yes.
McAvoy I do know.
Yeah. There we go.
Um, Purely they talk about him a lot on the streams, I feel, when the Bruins play.
Yeah.
His name comes up a lot, and so I was like, I know that name, I know the player, I kind of know how he plays. So
Yeah.
yeah, why
He's
not?
yeah, he is on part. He was on the US Olympic team.
Mm.
What our only the Bruins only player that got playtime on the US
Oh,
Olympic
there you
team,
go.
which is pretty great.
Yeah.
But he has also had a really rough
Mm.
season.
Yes.
Lots of stuff going on with his like jaw and his
There's
mouth and everything.
he got messed up a little,
Yeah,
but
he had a got roughed up this season.
mm,
All right, let's talk playoffs. They're officially
mm,
done. They
they are.
ended a week ago today, actually. Yeah, we're filming this on June
Yeah,
21st. The last game was June 14th.
yeah. Last Sunday.
Um, were you watching the game live?
I watched so Sunday. This is a bit of a tangent, but I did go to the Dubliner and hung out
Oh,
with some
there you go.
Scottish men because there's a lot of kilts hanging around Boston at the moment for the World Cup.
Yeah.
So a friend and I were like, let's go and just like get amongst like the culture. There was a really lovely old lady there that had like a cute hat. Anyway, all this to say, I tried to make it home to watch the playoffs game, and I watched like the first period and a half, and then I crashed. But
There you go.
yes, yes.
Which you didn't miss much.
No, I think I when I went to bed it was like 2-0, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I think
Yeah.
I know where this is going, but we'll see.
Which is crazy because under normal circumstances, yes, that totally would have been the way that it's going. Vegas is known for being such a good comeback.
Mm,
And so the amount of, and this entire series, whoever
mm,
is leading in the first two periods has mostly not mattered. In game
yeah,
five, it did a little bit for Carolina, but generally hasn't mattered that much.
yeah.
But because the other team will come back in third period and like tie it. And it's like it can be 3 goals, it can be 4 goals. They're going into overtime,
Mm,
or like it's in the last like few minutes of the game and they're trying to figure out who's
yeah.
taking it. And so under normal circumstances, it was kind of like I was at watching it at Lenovo Center in Raleigh at their like outdoor watch party. We
Yeah, you were
tailgated.
in it.
I was in the
You were
Magic,
in there.
which I'm not particularly a Canes fan,
Mm,
but I wanted them to win over Vegas because Vegas just had a cup like 3 years ago.
hmm.
And I was like, Carolina's been working towards this for years. Like they
Yeah,
have been like perfecting their roster, perfecting their team. And like that's a big discussion in the sports world of or like the hockey world right now is how like Carolina somehow did their like salary cap and everything exactly right. Like their roster is like perfect.
yeah.
And so it was like they after spending this amount of time kind of crafting this and like also believing in like Rod Brindamore and stuff like that
Mm.
and like his abilities to carry this team, like I was like this needed to be Carolina's. I would have been really sad if it not really sad. I would have been
You would
totally
have been like,
I
they
would
would
have
have
been
lived on, but there would have been
yeah,
some disappointment.
yeah, I would have been like, man, that really sucks if
That
it
is
didn't
unfortunate.
go to Carolina.
Hmm.
But I was watching it at Lenovo Center, and like all of these like Caniacs were like
Yeah.
starting to.
Sorry, I've never heard that before. That's so funny. Caniacs.
All of
Yeah.
these Caniacs were like they were starting to get into it. I wasn't supposed to be there too. I was like going to see my friend's fiance's ball hockey game.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, like this was great. I got to get on the road because I'm driving back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I got to be there in time to watch this game. Like, I can't miss a minute of this game.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, well, like, do you want to? She lives like close to Lenovo Center. She's like, oh, do you want to like stay with us? And then you can go to the watch party. I was like, well, I'll twist my arm.
Fine. I guess I'll stay.
Want me there? Like, sure, I can stay. So I wasn't planning on staying, had no Canes colored stuff, even though I brought some with me to Georgia. So that was interesting where I was like, why
But did
did
you leave it in Georgia?
I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did I not bring that with me
Why?
to I was like, if anything, it would have still been the like a game day. So I was
Yeah.
like, this
You
would have
still
been
could
the
have worn
best
it.
time for me to have worn it. But no, I didn't bring it with me. So I was like not really dressed for whatever was happening. My friend gave me a t-shirt and like it was nice. I was wearing a Canes t-shirt. Um,
Nice.
but we were in second, like end of second, people were starting to like really get excited because they were like, this is our game. And
This could
then
be it.
there was this one guy next to me and he was like, no, it's not over till he was like, no early cheering. And I was like, honestly, this guy has the right.
You
Because
got it.
they did. Vegas didn't end up scoring. This team did end up winning, but
Mm.
I was like, this guy has the right idea because the amount of times that like in every other series, the Canes could probably early celebrate because they like did have it in the bag. That's what happened every other game before this series. But I was like,
This
you can't
series
do
was
that with this.
different.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do that with this Vegas team. And so this guy was like, no. Like he kept turning around. I don't know if anybody around us knew him. The guy that was next to us was like, don't nobody celebrate. It's too early. And he was right. But it ended up like I think I have videos from it like being the last like 30 seconds and Carolina was up by 4 and it was like
You're like, this is.
yeah, or it was maybe it was 3. I think they scored an empty netter, so I think it was 4. But
You're okay.
it's been a week. It's wiped from my brain.
It's gone. It's
Um,
gone.
but
Excitement over.
yeah, no, and then they had the parade yesterday in Raleigh, and I was like, that would have also been a great time to be in
You
Raleigh.
should have stayed.
Yeah, for that like parade and everything. I got to work, but like,
I mean,
would have
work.
been nice. Yeah, would have been nice. But they like had a video of like Seth Jarvis, who if you don't know the Boston players, I'm not entirely sure you would know the Carolina players.
Nope.
But Seth Jarvis, who is so funny. He like was on FaceTime with maybe it was like ESPN. I don't know who he was on FaceTime with. But they were like, so how much partying have you been doing since like you guys won the cup? Like blah blah blah. And he was like, oh, I don't do that. He was like, I don't party.
No.
I don't do that.
Never.
And it was like one of the funniest clips I think I've ever seen. So many of the things, like there was another clip of like Alexander Barkov, who's another player on the team, and he carried the cup to his like neighbor's place, and it's like the ring camera footage of him like
That's so
ringing
funny.
the door and like knocking on it, and was like, "You asked for this." like,
I
there's
love that.
it was so good.
That's so fun.
I really hope one day while we're both living in Boston, the Bruins win the cup. That would be
We can hope. I mean, we did make it a
wait,
fair way this year,
but they
but
made it a decent way. I want to say it was. I think it was the 2023 to 2024 season or the 2022 to 2023 season.
okay.
So 2023 was in there somewhere. The Bruins were on fire. They set like the record, I think, for like games won ever in the NHL. Like the Bruins were
That's crazy.
perfect, and then just like completely crashed and burned in the playoffs.
Oh.
And so they got a lot closer than we did this year, but then they really plummeted after that, which is why I'm a Ducks fan.
I see it.
But we were rewatching Heated Rivalry last night actually, and there was like a clip where like their New York team is like the New York Admirals in Heated Rivalry instead of like the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
And they were playing Anaheim, and I saw like the A and I was like, oh my gosh, Anaheim. And I was like trying to look at their mascot, and it was the Hammerhead Sharks.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, the mighty Hammerheads of Anaheim. Like they got it. They're right.
Oh.
But it was like the Bruins had such a perfect season, but it's like the President's Trophy curse of like the team that like gets the President's Trophy is not like they aren't getting the cup or like they won't. So everyone thought this year was the time that like the
time to shine.
Yeah, the Avalanche would break the curse, and that didn't end up happening. Sorry to Avalanche fans out there, but
unfortunate.
Yeah, if the Bruins win, it has been 15 years.
That's
Which is
crazy.
There have been longer droughts. The Hurricanes went 20.
Yeah.
There have been longer droughts, but we're approaching it.
We're getting there. I mean, I am 1 year into a 5-year program, so they've got 4 years.
So Bruins get on that.
Get on that. You've got
Bruins,
4
have 4
years
years
until I am no longer in Boston. Well, we'll see what happens, but until I am no longer in Boston, hypothetically. So, yeah.
Yeah, Bruins, you have 4
Bruins
years.
have 4 years. Celtics have 4 years.
The
Sox.
Celtics just missed.
I did. I know. I was like,
it's so sad.
actually, I was here because they won 24, didn't they? 2024.
Yes.
Yeah. I was here in the August of 2024, and I think they just won. Maybe.
Yeah, they won that June. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a lot of stuff like the airport. I remember was like all Celtic stuff. I'm not really into the NBA, I would say. Like my boyfriend plays basketball.
Really? I
He
didn't know that.
does. Yeah, he plays
Okay.
basketball. But yeah, that is the only way that I am tied to basketball, except for I did play C grade mixed one year and we did win the whole
Well, there you go.
thing. Yeah.
And there you
Yeah.
go.
But no, no.
I mean, the Red Sox we gotta get behind. Have you been to a game? You have.
I've been to a game, yes, but not this season yet, which is
Really? I know you're right.
ridiculous.
We
I
should
need
go.
to
Like,
go because like student nines, like,
and I get my
and
$5
you get
tickets.
$5
Yeah.
tickets. Like, we need to go. Yeah,
Well, that's on the bucket list.
it
Like,
is.
let's
When
make
are
a
they back
time.
in Boston? They're back this
They're
week
back
sometime.
this week. Yeah, later
Yeah.
this week. We
Okay.
could go this weekend.
We should. Oh wait, no, I'm
Oh, you're
camping.
camping.
I'm camping.
We can go
Everyone,
this
I'm
week.
camping.
Yeah,
In
camping with
case,
Scott.
I'll be in New Hampshire next weekend
Yeah.
camping. Everyone, yeah. If you need to
Um,
find me,
yeah,
yeah,
we're looking
that's where
for
I
it.
am. I actually don't know where in New Hampshire I'll be, but I'll be there.
Just search the state.
Just yeah,
Just
yeah.
do like a wide
I'll
scan.
be around.
Yeah. No, we'll go.
We'll go.
But
Yeah.
yeah, at least you were here for it's not like they didn't win the Super Bowl, but you were here for the Patriots
That
going
was
to the Super Bowl.
crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
One of the most magical times of my life, by the way. What an electric feeling to have your team in the finals.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I fully understand it because I wasn't here for when the Celtics were in the playoffs because I
Mm,
was back in Georgia. It was right
yeah.
after I'd graduated, so I'd moved back to Georgia. But I was like, oh my God, the energy in the city of Boston
It
and
was
like the entirety of New England,
crazy.
I'm sure, but from our experience, the city of Boston,
Yeah.
that was in just that was everywhere from
Mm.
like the Super Bowl and then it leading into the Olympics and like all of that stuff. Like, oh my God,
Boston has been crazy. I remember
Boston
the
has
the
been
night that we made it through to the Super Bowl. There was like men in like my apartment complex and down my street just like screaming like we're going to the Super Bowl and I
crazy.
was like, "Oh my god, what is going on?"
Yeah.
Um and yeah, I went to a friend's house to watch the game and they made me a cake in the shape of a football that said Abby's first Super Bowl.
Oh,
Shout
cute.
out to Eleni if she watches. Actually, Eleni is really into hockey, so she might even watch this if I send it
Oh
to her.
my
But yeah,
gosh. Well, there you go.
um, yeah. So I think yeah, I enjoyed the Super Bowl. I didn't enjoy the $50 Uber home, which is like a 10-minute drive, but
That
that's fine.
is really, yeah, that's
Yeah,
upsetting.
that was unfortunate, but hey,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And it wasn't the most exciting Patriots game to
No,
exist.
we kind of knew how it was going
Yeah.
pretty early on.
Which I will say, my one comment about the Super Bowl is that for the Patriots playing pretty mediocre to below mediocre in that actual game, they, I think, in terms of like pure, like, what am I thinking of? What's the touchdowns?
Touchdowns, yeah, that's the
Why did
term.
that term felt so
The Australian can help you.
that term felt so foreign in my it's been so long since I've watched a
Touchdown.
football game. I like forgot what it
Yeah.
um and like I was thinking of the word like literally with spaces in it and I was like that
What?
doesn't make sense. And
What
it
am I
was
thinking of?
the yeah.
Mm,
They had this I think like a pretty similar amount. It was
mm.
just that like the Seahawks well the Seahawks were playing better.
Yeah.
This is a sore Patriots fan.
Yeah.
Well, like listen, no, the Seahawks were like they were pretty similar. No, the Seahawks were
No,
playing better.
they were playing better.
Um,
Yeah.
but it was so exciting.
Yeah.
And I think like if the Bruins make it to the finals, I'm calling off work for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
The entirety
Who's
of the
sick
finals, I'm ill.
for 2 weeks?
There was one time, and I hope this doesn't make it back, but there was one time when I
Oh,
was
Pooja.
feeling not great. And interestingly, I skate.
Yeah.
Interestingly, as I have felt ill, it feels so good to be in an ice rink. Like I wasn't feeling good on Friday, and it was from like I was not feeling great on Thursday. It carried over into Friday.
Yeah.
And I was like, I told myself I would go like skate because I need to like I haven't practiced in like
Mm.
a week and a half. Like I was like, I need to get some practice time in. Um, and so I was like, but I'm like feeling so bad. And then I was like, something in my mind was like, no, the ice will help. And it did. It
Yeah.
works wonders
The
for me.
climate
So
in there.
honestly, yeah, like honestly, if I am calling out sick, I'm probably going skating
Probably
at
going
this for any of
skating.
that. like, like if I am sick for like 2 weeks, I will be
You
at
skate.
Warrior Ice Arena
Yeah.
every single day.
She'll be there.
I'll be there.
You know where to
I'm
find
there.
her.
I'm locked.
Yeah.
Um, but no, so let's talk a little bit more about this series.
Yeah.
What were your going into the series, especially after maybe like the first two games? Because we watched the first game together,
Yeah.
didn't we? Yes,
Yes, we watched game one
we
together.
watched game one together. What was your like? How did you kind of feel about the game, and like who did you think was going to win based off of that first game?
I feel like I found it tricky purely because a lot of the season I only really watched the Bruins going through. And so when it got to the playoffs, I was like, these are two teams that I haven't really followed a lot over the season. Like, obviously, you know where they are and what's going on, but yeah,
Yeah,
I hadn't really watched a lot of it. And I think they actually both played pretty well in that first game. Obviously, they both came out pretty hot. Um, I'm still shocked by the brutality of hockey in general.
yeah, yeah. It's
The
a lot.
slamming people against like the glass, scary to me.
We get
Um,
pretty bad injuries
yeah,
very easily.
yes, yeah. So I feel like I was kind of indifferent to how it was going to go, knowing that it's like a 7 game series as
Yeah,
well. Well, best of seven. Like
yeah,
I feel like game one was just a feeler of like who's coming out hot, who's got what going on.
yeah,
Um, and so I felt kind of indifferent at that point. I think I needed a couple of games to like figure out where I stood
yeah.
with them.
That's
But
fair.
I did hope that the Canes were going to win.
Not a big Vegas fan.
I just feel like Vegas has won enough.
Vegas, and there you go. That's you have a good point.
Yeah.
I think that the other thing that is super interesting, and I don't know if you know this, but
Mm,
I think that the last time that a team won the Stanley Cup starting two different goalies for anything other than injury
mm.
was in like the 80s. And I
Oh
think it
my
was the
gosh.
Oilers in the 80s.
That's
And
crazy.
it's like a thing where I've seen it talked about on podcasts before where a it's less of like a superstition thing or
Mm,
something like that, and more of like, do you have like the caliber of a goalie who can go all the way and win the cup?
mm,
And if you're putting in two different goalies for anything other than one being injured,
mhm.
then it's like then you don't necessarily, and so it's like you don't have like a cup winning team because a goalie is part of a cup winning team, right?
Yeah.
And Carolina totally had a cup winning team. They
Mhm.
had their goalie Freddie Anderson, who played so well
Yeah.
throughout the entire first three series, and like
Series.
series
Sorry, that's
series series.
yeah.
Is it just singular? I don't know.
I don't know.
Played so
Yeah.
well. It got pulled. I think it was in game three or four.
Mm,
One of them. It's all slipping away from me now.
yeah.
I think it was probably game four. And he he got pulled. They put in Brandon Bussey, who's their backup goalie.
Mm.
He is technically a rookie. This is his first season
Oh my
with
gosh.
the NHL. He's played in the AHL for a
Yeah.
long time. But he's, I guess, too old to be considered a rookie. So
Mm,
this is technically his first year, quote unquote.
yeah.
Um, they put him in and they started him. Maybe Brandon Bussey or was put in for game. I feel like in my mind, something in my mind is like he was started game four, game five. I'll look this up in a
Let's
second.
fact check.
But
It's gonna haunt Pooja if she
it's
doesn't fact check
actually because then I'm going to feel like so upset about the fact that I posted it on the internet without knowing. Um,
it. I
start.
put it out into the world, yet I still don't know the facts.
Oh my gosh. Oh yes. So he started game five. I was right.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
Brandon Bussey got put in. Oh wait. Yes. Yes. He started in
Mm-hmm.
game five. He was put in game four for third period,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people like it was a stat that they showed at the end there where they were like, this is the first time that like a team has won starting two goalies since the 80s. But I don't know if you caught this at all.
Mm.
There was a lot of speculation about injury with Freddie Anderson.
Yes.
Did you hear about that?
I saw a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was what like after they said that, because I once again I was in the land of the Canes.
Yeah.
So there was only so many things that like I feel like because I think I started as a Bruins fan.
Mm-hmm.
I think as I progressed through hockey, I totally like the Bruins and like they are the team that is nearest to me and
Yeah.
easiest for me to go to
Most
games.
accessible.
Yeah, the most accessible. I skate at Warrior. I take lessons at Warrior. Like
Yeah.
I like am, in Bruins country all of the
Mm.
time.
Yeah.
I don't think that they are my favorite team.
Mm.
And I think it's like over the course of like me being invested in hockey, I've shifted to just loving the sport more than like any particular team, even though I love the Ducks and I love the Sharks and I love the Jackets. So I just
Just
have,
add them all on.
I just,
Add them all on,
just so
Pooja.
I'm
You just
four,
love hockey.
I'm 4 for 32. I love hockey. I love the sport. Um, and so my thought process while I'm standing there is I was like, man, this is like for game 6, I was like, this is the worst hockey I've seen Vegas play
Mm.
the entire series, which it doesn't take, a genius to figure that out. Like they lost, they got shut out. but even like throughout it, I was like, man, like something like a switch flipped for Vegas between game 5 and game 6. And game 5 was the first time that they didn't score more than two, or yeah, they only scored 2 goals in
Mm.
game 5. And previously I think they were all like 3 goals in
Yeah.
every game. And so I was like, oh, something's like starting to
A
die
little bit
down.
different.
William Carlson was injured for game 6, and so he was like pulled, and that was a big hit on the team. And then they did a bunch of lineup changes with not a lot of time, and I think that they didn't have like the same flow. But I was like, man, this sucks for them, because I was like, this is the worst I think they
The
played this
timing as
entire
well.
playoffs. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's their like it's the Canes clinching game. Like I was like,
Mm.
this is their like ultimate elimination game of like they are out, they're done,
Yeah.
they lose the cup if
If
they lose
they'd
this game.
flipped it and played that type of hockey at the start, they could have figured it out. But I
Yeah,
think like
it
yeah,
it
I agree.
dwindled. It like I think the Canadiens did similar things, which maybe that's just to the strength of the Canes of like
Mm.
being so good at wearing they have a suffocating defense, which is like every like that is they're
Mm.
so good with their defense. They've perfected their roster. They know it.
They've
It's
got
like
it.
this was them, this was that, like their roster hit its peak at the same time that
They
they
know
hit
what
their
they
peak.
want when they want it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got it. But it's like the Canes, I think, are just so good at like squeezing the life out of their opponents
Yeah.
in every single series. And like you'd really hope that Vegas it wouldn't happen to them, and it totally did. And I feel like you see it in almost every single series that the Canes have played, where like the Canadiens also their downfall over the course of that series needed to be studied. They were also so tired, but like they were like I feel like I was watching
Which
the life
I
like
feel
leave
like
their eyes.
yeah, but I feel like any team that's played that many games in a series that goes that long is going to be tired as well. Like
No, totally.
everyone was just ready for it to be finished.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think they needed to be done. They
Yeah.
were and they're young. And I was like, you guys have so much time
Mm.
and you're way ahead of your prime. Only team to not finish #1 seed in their division to make it to the conference finals. Like you guys are ahead of schedule. Just like take some rest.
Yeah.
Hang out with your family.
Yeah.
Go on vacation, go
Sit
golfing.
on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hit the golf course. You're
Yeah.
good. You're
Yeah.
good. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But that was sorry, circling back to the initial topic, which was the goalie thing. I like someone said it right next to me when we were there, and I was like,
Mm.
but that's an injury thing, and they didn't officially call it before, but like a lot of people were kind of like, do you think Freddie Anderson's on concussion protocol? Because they were like,
Mm.
that was a tough hit that he took. Like but they didn't call it at
Mm.
the time, and so maybe that's exactly what happened, is that like
Mm.
they are not going to like they can't like say anything because
Yeah.
they didn't call it at the time. And then I
Mm.
don't know if you saw this after the finals, he said he was pulled for a knee injury.
Oh,
But I guess they couldn't say it in case like they put him
it
back
happened.
in, but he wasn't dressed for the games for the last
That
couple.
was the thing I saw.
So
They were like, he's on the bench, but he's not dressed. And
yeah,
I'm like, okay, well, that's not gonna happen.
yeah, and they were like,
Like,
well, he needs some time to
how quick is
rest.
he at getting changed
Yeah.
if he's coming on? Like,
Yeah.
I'm confused. Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, he just needs some time to like rest." And I was like, "This is like the last couple games, though." Which like
Yeah.
I get pulling him, but you're not putting him back in.
Yeah.
And so even
It's
when
not
he said
happening.
that, I was like, I don't even know if you can technically count this, because Freddie Anderson is a cup winning goalie
Hmm.
by all means, and he just was injured. And
Yeah.
so I was like, this like goalie logic doesn't even really apply. That being said, Brandon Bussey is the effing man. He
Mm.
was their backup goalie that then started, and he is I love him so much. And
Mm.
I have, since like it was a big thing going into the finals, where it's like most teams you have like this distinction between like starting goalie and backup
Yeah.
goalie, and they were like, you put in any of those two and you're golden. Like
Yeah.
it was like you don't necessarily
It
have that
doesn't
with
matter
Brandon
which
Bussey.
way
Yeah,
you
like
do it.
you're not worried when you're putting Brandon Bussey in. The one thing that was concerning is that he hadn't played since April 14th. And
Mm,
so the like cup
it's a big break.
final, like the final game was 2 months exactly since he had last played. And he only started playing like earlier in the week. And so that's a long time to
Yeah.
not, defending. But he was like, put me in, coach, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And it was so cool being in Raleigh for that because
Mm.
every time he came on, people were just like, Bossy,
And I
Bossy.
think it like talks to then being like having a reliable player on your team and like working in sport for so long, like knowing that you have someone that you could just put in and like can trust will just like get the job done
No,
and do it.
totally.
I think that that was like definitely to their like favor for
No.
that. Yeah.
And I think also similarly, like it he's just so good and he was not getting the playtime that he deserved.
Mm.
And maybe that led to like his development in the way that it did. Like maybe he just
Work
needed,
harder.
yeah, a little bit more time to develop and just be this absolute all-star.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just I love Brandon Bussey. Um
I can tell. I can tell.
I just think like his development is so cool and like he's also getting all of them are getting married this summer.
Oh my
All
gosh.
three goalies for the Canes are getting married this
Off
summer.
season.
Yeah, this offseason is
Everything
going crazy.
happens.
I like play like the NHL Game Zone like lines thing, which is
Yeah.
like their version of connections. And one of them was like things to do in the off season, and it
Get
was like
married.
golf, and it was like practice, and then it was weddings.
Yeah.
The other thing, I was like, yeah, and there you
Mhm.
go. I will say there was also another moment at the end of the game where they were like, "Oh, who's Jordan Stahl handing the cup to first?"
Mm,
And the like people around me were like, "Oh, it's gonna go to like Taylor Hall." They were like, "Oh, it's gonna go to like Svet." I don't know who they were saying, but they were
yeah.
like Svetch or they were like Jacob Slavin, also absolute all star,
Mm,
so good. And they were like listing off all these names. And I was like going to Freddie Anderson for sure, and because he first of all, like Brandon Bussey is the absolute man. If we haven't established that already,
I
if that hasn't been
no,
communicated appropriately,
probably 5
um,
minutes ago. Yeah.
yeah. But Brandon or Brady Anderson
Mm,
was the reason they made it. Like
yeah.
he played phenomenally throughout almost all four series, and like he also went through so much. Claude Lemieux passed away. A couple weeks ago,
Mm,
and to keep playing and playing so well throughout all of that
mm,
it's just insane. And he has just gone through so much, and
yeah.
he was the absolute all-star. And I was like, no, it's Freddie Anderson, and then they were like, and then he passed it to Freddie Anderson, and I was like, sorry, I'm
Every
goaded.
just needs to trust Pooja.
Sorry, I'm like always right.
She knows the facts.
I it was just so it was too
You
good.
can count on Pooja to pull all of the stats from every hockey game,
Oh my god,
probably
that's
every day at
literally.
work.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's the life of having no social media besides my TikTok. Hooch Talks
Besides,
Puck. Hooch
yeah,
Talks Puck on TikTok.
yeah,
It's the like best part about having no social media. It's because I have nothing else to do with my
yeah.
day.
Hey, you like needlepoint and read,
That is
but
true.
hockey does take precedence, I think.
Hockey takes precedent, and
Yeah.
now the World Cup
Yes.
is at the forefront, and then it'll switch to baseball.
It'll go back to
Yeah,
baseball
yeah. We're
after the
back in
World
Red
Cup
Sox
is. We've
season.
got 2 more games.
Yeah.
Mm,
Well,
in
that's
Boston.
yeah,
Well, in Boston.
in Boston.
Yeah.
Um, That being said, do you have anything else about this playoffs series that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, I feel like it was just being my first that I was like in the US for. I feel like in Australia we don't really have I feel like there are people that follow the NHL but not to the same caliber as like the Super Bowl in the NFL or like the NBA. I feel like they're quite big in Australia. The hockey less so.
Mm-hmm.
Canberra, where I'm from, the capital.
Yeah.
We do there is like a hockey kind of competition in Australia,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely not the same as the NHL here. And so I think like just being able to experience a playoff series that has so many supporters and like show the strength of the game, I think that was like really what I took out of it was like actually this is like pretty cool and there's a lot of people that support this and care about this and all of these kids grow up playing hockey and we don't have that
Yeah.
and so really I feel like it was more of like a culture thing and embracing the culture of US sport more
Yeah.
so hockey than yeah, anything else. I think that's what I pulled from it the most. And I feel like that's very like, oh, she's just here for the vibes. But like, I feel like that was, I've got 4 years to get all my facts down now.
Yeah,
But the
and you
first year,
basically
you've
already
just got
got
to
it. Yeah,
like, I feel like I did well in my first year,
I think
but
you did great. Yeah,
I've got 4 years now to kind of like refine my knowledge. But for the first year, it was more just this is cool and the atmosphere is cool and I think this is something that I can really get myself into and yeah,
yeah,
follow more.
totally.
So yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like that was my takeaway from the playoffs. Go
yeah.
Canes, I guess, but
Okay, go Canes.
yeah.
Um, they also it was like you witnessed some of like some great hockey. Like
Mm,
this playoff series, statistically, so many things happened that were just like the fastest like three or fastest hat trick in
that was crazy. Yeah.
Mitch Marner also goaded. 93 is
Mm,
my favorite number.
oh,
And
it's a sign.
Mitch Marner, I'm not saying that that's why he did so well,
It could be why.
but um but yeah, so he like that happened. Like it was, I think, the first time in Stanley Cup Finals history that a goal has been scored within the first 30 seconds of
That
each
was
period.
crazy as
Also
well.
crazy,
Yeah.
some crazy comebacks. Like I think fastest three goals scored
Mm,
in finals history. It was 39 seconds by the
mm.
Canes. Some crazy things.
There was a
So you
lot
were
happening.
there were some good things happening, like some good hockey to watch
Everyone
as
played
we
so
got into.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Well, all right. That's all that I have.
Oh my
Thanks
gosh.
so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Of
This has been so
course.
exciting.
I'm so glad. This has been a while in the making, so
It
I'm
has.
so
It's
glad to
been
get
like
it.
probably over a month that
Yeah,
Pooja has wanted me on the podcast. And then
yeah.
life just happens.
I
I
think so.
traveled, you traveled.
We're busy.
We're busy gals,
It's summer
really.
off season for us.
It's the
The
off
Bruins
season
are
for
done.
us. The Bruins are done.
So
It's summer. We've been
yeah,
living up summer in the city.
yeah, we love
So
it. Well,
yeah,
all right. Well, thanks for
of
joining, and see
course.
you guys next time for a new episode, hockey or non-hockey related. We do have the draft. The NHL draft is next
That
week,
oh, I could
so
dabble.
we'll see.
I
All right.
I'll do my research.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, thank
All
you
right.
guys.
Thank you.